What happened yesterday? Well, yesterday, myself and Yoni had a jury trial in Tippecanoe County on a battery case. The jury came back not guilty. This was a battery case. Ultimately, what happened is it's a custody exchange gone horrendously wrong. So what happens was our client goes up and she meets her ex and her ex's now current fiance. There's a lot of contentiousness going on between our client, her ex obviously, and her ex's fiance. So one thing leads to another. Our client actually sprays mace all over the ex's now current fiance. And that's what led us to the ultimate charge of battery.
Yes and no. I think obviously the charges in this case, it makes sense to file charges on this. However, when it comes to working it out through maybe getting a diversion, maybe getting the charges dismissed, then they were being unreasonable in our opinion, which is why we made the best decision for our client instead of doing a bench trial, which is a trial in front of a judge, to get a jury impaneled in this and to advocate for our client in front of a jury.
The role of self-defense was pretty straightforward. So our client is doing a custody exchange that would normally take place at a police station. Again, there's a high contentious attitude going on between the three people involved here. Our client, the female, has the daughter in her backseat and she's about to exchange with her ex. These normally, again, occur at a police station. That just shows how contentious this is. Well, she wasn't expecting her ex's fiance to be in the vehicle with him, and all of a sudden it becomes a 2-on-1 ambush, and the ex is a lot bigger than she is. She's about my size, which isn't quite toy size if you can see me on the video. So when you have two people ganging up on one, that's kind of where the self-defense comes in, because the other two people are screaming, they're out of the car, why is this this, why is this that, what's going on? Our client obviously felt threatened in the situation. She was scared, both for herself, for her daughter who she was dropping off. So self-defense becomes a very big aspect in this case.
And not only that, the location was different. Usually they do these custody exchanges at the police station or somewhere where our client feels safe. Now she's going to, even though it's a public place, it's a neighborhood she doesn't know, in an area that she doesn't know, and it's also in a vehicle that she doesn't know where custody exchanges is supposed to happen. So she's in an area where she has nowhere to go, doesn't know this area very well.
I truly believe this is the crux of the entire case right here. So ultimately, as Yoni had said, this took place in a very public location. And I'll be honest with you, back at my house, we had some trouble with our backyard fence, and our new GSP, German Short-Haired Pointer dog, would get out. I've seen my 4-year-old daughter put more effort into finding that dog than the police put into trying to investigate this case. We're in a wide open parking lot with multiple high-level businesses around. And what goes on? Well, he interviews the two people that were there, the ex and the fiance, and then he goes to talk to the manager of the actual business in which this exchange took place. But does he ask the manager, hey, did you see anything? Did you talk to any customers? Of course not. He asked the manager, hey, do you have any surveillance? That's a great start. Problem is, he watched the surveillance video for who knows how long, 30 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes, and then he deemed it irrelevant. Why did he deem it irrelevant? Because he could only see the front portion of the alleged victim's car in this particular matter. Well, that's huge. We could then figure out, at that point, did people get out of the car? Who got out of the car? We have no idea whether it was relevant or not, other than this officer's word that it didn't really show anything. So at that point, he basically just cut the investigation entirely. Now, this isn't a situation where he went and tried to talk to patrons of the businesses around or anything like that. This is a situation where he got there, maybe didn't want to be there, did about as much as possible just to hand the case to the prosecutor. To be quite frank, I felt really bad for the prosecutor. She had a tough case to present. I think I even apologized to her in close.
Well, one, I don't think that they believed anybody in this case. the way the father of the child testified, he got angry, he got upset, and I think that they saw that. And the way that the officer testified, where he just seemed like this wasn't such a big deal, he didn't do much of an investigation at all. And I think another deciding factor, the second deciding factor, was a complete lack of evidence. The jury wanted to see the surveillance video. They wanted to hear from other witnesses. They didn't want to hear from all the parties involved. They wanted people who weren't involved in this situation to testify, because that would have given them an objective view of what happened. They didn't get that, and because of that, they made the right decision.
Not guilty.